It's Anika or Anika Bunny or Donica or whatever you want to call me that isn't offensive. And today I'm coming back with a much requested, and by much I mean at least 3 people, which is good for somebody who has 101 subscribers. I'm so excited. I can't believe I already passed 100 subscribers. I did not think it was going to happen that quickly. Thank you to everybody who subscribed. I appreciate it so much. I literally am so excited about that. Anyways, we're going to do an Am I the Asshole but hard mode because I'm autistic part 2, but we're going to try to make it a little bit shorter because it was kind of a long video last time and I wasn't really feeling that length. Just so you understand the premise, I'm autistic and I love going through r/am I the asshole and trying to see if I get to the same conclusion that all the comments do. We recognize Reddit is not that fucking nice. People are not that moral. We know Reddit's not the place to get opinions from all the time, but it's still a fun little game and I like to see if I can kind of get like, you know, there's thousands of people that are commenting and reading these, so trying to get the same gist. Am I the asshole for telling my in-laws it was on them to explain to their guests why there weren't any places for them at my wedding reception? We're already starting messy as fuck. I love the wedding ones. I'm not preying on anybody's downfall. I know it's stressful when something goes wrong on your wedding day. I wouldn't want anything to go wrong on my wedding day, but I absolutely love the wedding ones because they're always the fucking messiest. I think the title has all the information. It kind of does, babes. Like, it kind of does. I married my husband last weekend after about a year of planning. The ceremony went off perfectly, even with kids in the church. Very good. We love that for you. The formal photos weren't delayed. No one got drunk and wrecked anything. No one insisted on bringing their emotional support goat. I don't know if that's a fucking reference or not, but good for you. The only hitch was that my in-laws invited about 10 extra people without telling us. Not relatives or anything, just friends of theirs we did not invite since we didn't know them. I did not notice them at the ceremony, and it wasn't until the reception that there were issues. There was no seating for them. Our best man and groomsmen found a folding table and chairs for them to sit at. There was food. We went with a buffet, but since we set the tables to eat by number and they didn't have a number, they were sent last after everything had been picked over. My in-laws were embarrassed that their friends were being treated that way. The fucking audacity of... Okay, anyways. I very politely asked them what they expected when they invited people without telling the people planning and paying for the wedding. They said that we needed to go apologize for their treatment. I would have been like, bitch, you can go ahead and apologize to my ass crack because there's no apologies happening here. I said I would, but I would also explain that they had actually not been invited. If they wanted their guests told anything else, and they had to go explain. They're upset with me. My husband has my back 100%. I think I could have been more gracious, but I also think it should not have fallen on us to deal with. I know I'm going to be right. You're not the asshole, obviously. I have never in my life, to any event, invited somebody randomly. And the reason why is because if it's not my event that I am not paying for, that I am not planning for, that I am not supplying food for, that I am not supplying drinks for, that I have not put the energy into to create, it is not my space or ability to just invite whoever the fuck I want to invite. That's not how that works. And the audacity to be like, oh, apologize to them for their treatment. Oh, you're lucky you got a table and some seats and some food. I don't know why I'm so hyped about this. Like, I'm screaming right now. Can you guys tell I'm fucking screaming? I think it says Friday, bitch, it's the weekend. I'm kidding. But really, like, genuinely though, you're not the asshole. But let's look at the comments. I'm gonna go for 3 comments. Who is this colorectal surgeon? We keep seeing this person. I don't know if there's a lot of colorectal surgeons who just love r/am I the asshole, but thank you for your service. Who the fuck invites 10 extra people to a wedding on their own initiative? Not the asshole and what the fuck. But question, your buffet sent tables by number? Was that more of a crowd control thing? I just asked because every wedding/bar mitzvah buffet I've been to was it's open, go get online. I think they meant inline. But I would imagine, yeah, crowd control. That's one of the things I hate about buffets. There's actually a lot of things I don't like about buffets, including the fact that everybody and their mother with their dusty, crusty, germy, nasty-ass hands pick over the food. People be coughing and sneezing and talking and shit. But outside of that, it's usually kind of a mess. Like, people are all trying to get the food. Nobody wants to get everything that's picked over. People don't want one thing, so they want to skip and go to the next thing that they want. Like, it just does make it more organized. Your in-laws are of course entirely out of line and are the assholes here, but the people they invited are also assholes for even showing up, which I could see the uninvited guests just taking their in-laws at their word. Like if somebody was like, hey, somebody told me I could have a +1 to a wedding, do you want to go? I probably wouldn't doubt them, but now that I've read this goddamn story, I'm about to call the damn bride and be like, is there room for me to go? Like, I know you don't really know me. It's not that uncommon for like you invite your cousin and your cousin's girlfriend comes or something, or your cousin brings his friend or something because he doesn't want to be alone and like you don't know who that person is. That's not wildly uncommon. But I would probably not blame it on them. If they knew, then yeah, they're the assholes. But they more than likely were just taking their word, and there's nothing wrong with that. Not the asshole. I don't see how you could have been more gracious. That's very true. You really did handle that very well. And I always like to act spunky as fuck on YouTube, but I would have been the exact same. Like, I'm not me, and I wouldn't have told anybody, wouldn't have even cussed anybody out. I would have been like, you shouldn't have done this. Letting them know that you had no idea that they were coming would have explained why they were at a hastily placed table and last of the buffet. This is all on your in-laws, and now you need to be watching for future similar behavior and nip it in the bud. Similar. Is that weird? Hoping not to see, am I the asshole for disbanding in-law surprise baby welcoming party at our home that I was expected to host when we arrive with newborn from the hospital? That's so true. Some people's in-laws go crazy and they don't show it until they're at the Okay, so on that one, I am definitely giving myself 1 point. I definitely got that right. There was really no other option, but I'm still giving myself the point because I got it right. Story number 2. We're going to try to go through these a little bit quicker. Am I the asshole for purposefully tripping over a suitcase and guilt tripping my husband? I feel like there's already a bigger problem to this. Like I feel like there's 3 context clues here that tells me there's a bigger problem at play. 1, purposefully, which means you're already going out of your way to do things that you know you shouldn't be doing for attention. 2, guilt tripping, which is bad. And 3, my husband. And if it's, am I the asshole? There's more than likely something going on if your husband's involved, but let's read. I am a 32-year-old female and I'm currently 8 months pregnant with our first, and I'm trying to do everything I can to make sure the house is ready. This started with little spring cleaning jobs, but has developed into a full-blown deep clean of everything. Makes sense, you should do that anyways. Totally makes sense, but especially for a baby. One of the things I have decluttered recently was mine and my husband's, 33, closet. I donated everything we don't wear and have folded and put away everything that we don't need during the winter. Some of this clothing has gone into a suitcase which is currently sitting on our bedroom floor because it is too heavy for me to lift and put away. Already you're doing a lot of work, seemingly on your own, to be 8 months pregnant, but that's fine. Even if you were 5 months pregnant when you did this, where the fuck was your husband? I have asked my husband to please help me more than once, but he is always either too tired after finishing work, or he says that it slips his mind. All in all, the suitcase is currently looking like a permanent installation in our bedroom. He has at least shifted it out of the main walkway in the interim. If he has time to shift the fucking suitcase, he has time to pick it up and put it away. Last night, I woke up to go to the bathroom and ended up tripping over the suitcase as I fumbled in the dark. That's dangerous. I do obviously know where it is after it's been there for so long, but I was half asleep and trying to avoid our sleeping pup. Well, the crazy thing is that if it wasn't fucking there to begin with, you couldn't have tripped. While the fall wasn't bad, I did wake my husband in the process. My husband was initially quite worried, especially since our midwife told us any fall needed a trip to the hospital. But once he realized it was because of the suitcase, he became quite upset. How are you? These things get me so riled the fuck up. How are you going to refuse to do a very simple thing? Your wife did the complex part. She did the complex part. All you had to do was lift this motherfucking suitcase and put it somewhere else. And, okay. He said that there is no way I could have tripped over the suitcase unintentionally as he has moved it out of the walkway, and I had done it to prove a point. Why are you having a baby with this man? I know I shouldn't ask that question because people don't always know, but I would second guess. I know you're 8 months pregnant, but girl, go back in time. He said that he could not believe I would behave so passive aggressively and put our baby's life at risk. I'm getting so angry. rather than just asking him again, and that forgetting to move the case is not a crime. Crime is when your wife asks you to do something 60 trillion times and you refuse to do it. Anytime you were tired, you could have been like, you know what, I'm tired, but I'm just gonna move it. I'm tired right now and I'm doing things. I'm tired yesterday and I was doing things. Everybody's tired. Move the fucking suitcase so this can't happen. The more I tried to explain that I was trying to avoid waking him and tripping over the dog, the more he said that these were just convenient excuses to make him look lazy and unhelpful around the house. This man is in his feelings because he's lazy and unhelpful around the house. He said I was punishing him for not getting to the suitcase sooner and that if anything, I should have had a plan to deal with it from the beginning, as it was me who wanted to sort out the closet in the first place. Yes, everybody needs to clean. You can't hoard all of your old clothes. There's a baby coming. When you run out of closet space or you need to get new clothes because she lost weight, what are you going to do then? Are you going to want to clean out the closet? I didn't fucking think so. My husband was fired up again after I mentioned to the midwife this morning that I tripped over a suitcase, and he said I could have just told her that I had fallen over the dog or my shoelaces. So now, not only does he want you to take the blame for something he should have done, he wants you to lie? Let this nigga go. Let him go. He said that he had made his feelings clear during the night when we had our discussion. Bitch, who gives a fuck about your feelings? It's not about your feelings. And I was rubbing salt in the wounds now. I spoke to my mom, 61, about it after we got back from the midwife because I wanted to vent, and she surprisingly took... It's not surprising! Why do mothers always let the fucking daughters down in these stories? I'm so riled up because I know how it feels. I know how it feels to ask for something simple, be gaslit about it, and then be yelled at when it doesn't get... I can't even talk. Fuck your mom. My mom said I should have been more graceful bringing it up in front of the midwife, although I will say that I never said anything about asking him to move it. So what do you need to be grateful for? He just needed to move the suitcase. And she said that the situation has probably made my husband feel quite bad about himself, as it fucking should, which is why it turned into such a big drama. I don't give a fuck what any comment says. I don't care. Obama could comment and be like, not, you're the asshole. And I'm saying not the asshole. Your husband sucks. Your fucking suitcase tripped you because it shouldn't have been there to begin with. We shouldn't have to ask for things 6 times. Women constantly have to ask for things 6 times and then give 10 reasons outside of those 6 times as to why they need what they need. You are an 8-month pregnant woman, you're not multiple women, and you cannot pick up a suitcase. Point blank, period, he should have picked it up. What are the comments? Not the asshole. It sounds like he was being lazy about it and now he's feeling guilty, so he's lashing out at you to compensate. How long has the suitcase been there? 3 to 4 weeks. It doesn't take that long to pick up a suitcase. Not the original commenter, but just wanted to chime in because I agree with their assessment. Your husband knows he screwed up. Maybe not consciously. No, he consciously knows he fucked up. But he was being hella defensive, which told me that somewhere in his unconscious, he knows it was his fault. I'm a psychologist and I love working with the defenses, so I see this a lot, lol. Good. There was probably a moment, I mean, they could be lying, but I doubt, like, why would you? You know, everyone's like, oh, they could be lying. Like, why would you? Why would you lie about that? There's no reason to. There was probably a moment when you first tripped over the suitcase and you thought that the baby could have died and it would have been his fault. That's an incredibly painful belief to hold, and so his unconscious defenses kicked in and it turned it around on you, which doesn't, it's true, but it's not an excuse. If he really believed he didn't do anything wrong, then why would he want you to lie? Exactly. I have been abused before. I have been textbook abused before. And if somebody asks you to keep something a secret, this is not abuse. Let me just put that out there. I'm not saying he abused her. That's far. I'm just saying, like, coming from somebody that has been abused and has heard what happened here stays here, or tell them a different story, or you can't tell anybody what happened. It's a way to avoid responsibility for what you've done. And I know the thing is that he just didn't move a suitcase and it's not that big of a deal, but it's the fucking principle of it, dude. Like, your wife is pregnant and asking you to do something very simple. Just do it. He said you intentionally made him look lazy and unhelpful around the house. He is lazy and unhelpful around the house. Facts. That's just a fact. So not sure what he's accusing you of. You need to sit him down and have a proper discussion with him about his involvement around the house. Thank you. Why did it take 3 to 4 weeks to get this suitcase where it needed to go? Your husband is lazy. Your husband is gaslighting you, and your husband would rather you be in danger because he knew you could trip over that fucking suitcase. He moved it because he knew it was a possibility, and instead of doing the duty, he rather would have moved it and taken the small chance that you tripped over that suitcase. I don't care if it's subconscious or not. You're not the asshole. I get my second point. We're moving on. Am I the asshole for not paying a $300 bill for people I didn't even want there? I'm really torn on this, so I would definitely appreciate some advice. That's why we're here. I'll start off with saying that I have an aunt on my dad's side of the family. She's 50 and has 5 kids ranging from 20 all the way to 12. That bitch likes to fuck. I'm kidding. That's really rude. She's always been known to be a freeloader. Okay, never mind. I take it back. And taken advantage of situations and people. One time, me and my dad were planning on going to the drive-in, and my dad stupidly told her. She asked if her kids could be included too. Bitch, keep your little kids at home. I love kids, okay? But if 2 adults are planning on doing something and it was mentioned to you, now, first of all, she said he told her. So you're inviting yourself and your children? Get the fuck. I felt pissed because this happened every time me and my dad had something fun planned, just me and him. I'm hoping you get the idea with what I've given you so far. Yeah, I do. But anyway, last week I wanted to celebrate my little sister from getting her driver's permit. Good for her, congrats. I invited all of our family to Olive Garden. Okay, well, you could have picked a better restaurant, but that's fine. By all of us, I mean those who live in the same home. That's fine. I told everyone to clear their schedules for Friday afternoon because I didn't want anyone to feel left out. Well, that's where I messed up because my dad told my aunt and told her she could tag along without telling me. What's wrong with your father? We showed up to Olive Garden at around 4:30 p.m. and I asked for a table for 5. Me and my dad, my 2 sisters, and my grandpa. But my dad said that if they could make it a table for 12, I asked why, and that's when he told me. I was pissed, especially because my aunt and my little sister have history. Does your dad give a fuck about you or your sister? I'm just curious. But I didn't think much of it because I wasn't expecting what was coming up. We're seated, and around 30 minutes later, she shows up with all of her kids. We eventually order, and she kept ordering expensive dishes and lots of drinks. I was kind of in awe, considering she lives off of food stamps, which I don't shame anyone who does, as you shouldn't. Don't even give that energy. But she kept ordering like she was Scrooge McDuck on just another Tuesday. The bill eventually comes up, and I ask for it to be split. She says in such a grating voice, "What do you mean split bill? I thought you were paying for us?" That's when it clicked. She only came for the free fucking food. I immediately glared at my dad, who started blaming me, saying, "Why would you offer to pay and then not follow through?" I'm gonna beat these men up. I'm gonna beat these grown-ass men up. But, bitch, get the fuck, because where is the common sense? Maybe because I wasn't expecting to pay for another 6 people? Thank you. I ended up asking the waitress how much it would be because I didn't want to ruin the mood and my little sister's accomplishment. It came out to be $557. No. Excluding what me and my family ate, it would be about $243.68. Much more manageable. I outright refused to pay for her and her kids' meals. I felt this because 2 of them are still kids, but I never invited her myself, let alone agree to pay for her bill. Now my dad is calling me an asshole. Your dad can actually stuff a sock down his fucking throat. Okay, there's a couple of edits. We're going to skip those and go to the comments first. I'm saying not the asshole. Not the asshole. Very easy not the asshole. I don't know what's wrong with your dad. He knew you didn't invite her and her kids. He invited them. He can pay for them. Exactly. Tell your dad that anything he invites her to means he gets to foot her bill. Very, very true. And I'm not saying you can't invite your sister to things. Like, if you love your sister and you love your nieces and nephews, that's completely fine. But if you're going to invite people who are problematic to situations, you need to be able to handle their problematic behavior. Not the asshole. Your dad's an enabler, and that's the bigger issue. That's very, very, very true. Your dad knows who your sister is as a person, and he is enabling her and her children, unfortunately, because children are impressionable, to mooch off of others. And that's not okay, particularly because your dad set you up to be the one to be mooched off of. That's the craziest part to me. You're your dad's child. Your sister is your dad's child. Your dad knows how you guys feel about your aunt, and he still continues to go out of his way to invite her and allow her to mooch. It's just weird to me. I would maybe talk to your dad. Your aunt is a freeloader, but your dad is the real asshole. And genuinely, I agree. I think your dad is the one that's at fault here the absolute most. He is the one who keeps inviting her and practically promising her free meals. He's also the one who pressured you to pay for her and let her have your leftovers. Ooh, was that in the edit? Was that in the fucking edit? She got the leftovers too? What? They're 18 and they're paying two. You're literally a great sibling. That's a lot of money to spend for just for your sibling to get their permit. You're a good sibling. They were both addicts together, and they both made my mom's life a living nightmare. Some of you suggested there might be a Sweet Home Alabama type thing going on. I don't know why we're reading so deeply into this. Like, where did we go from, like, I enable my sibling to I'm fucking my sibling? Like, come on, y'all. And I will tell you now that there's nothing of the sort. I mean, yeah, because why would there be? Most of my hatred towards her comes from how my mom would tell me stories on how my aunt and my dad would literally bully my mom, and how one time they left her homeless with me and my two sisters being less than 3 years old, my little sister being just a few months old. So this gives a lot of context on why your dad's such a fucking asshole. They're not seeking validation. That's stupid. All these stories are very obvious, usually one way or the other. I don't know if they said that in the comments that they got the leftovers, but either way, not the asshole, and I win again. That's actually 3 out of 3. I might go ahead and reverse the fucking autism diagnosis, because bitch, it might be wrong. That's gonna do it for today. I hope you enjoyed. Oh my god, my shirt looks so fucking lopsided. Like, what is that? I hope it wasn't like that the whole time. That's going to be it for today. I hope you enjoyed. I don't know why I was feeling so passionate about these ones, but I was feeling so passionate today. So hopefully it was interesting. If you liked it, please subscribe. Please share the video. I'm so excited for this to come out for my Saturday video. I hope it's a fun Saturday video. Check out my Isaac video from Friday and Thursday and Wednesday I uploaded, and Tuesday, and I think Monday too. We're on a streak. Again, thank you so much for over 100 subscribers. That's so exciting already. I can't wait for this channel to keep growing. And in the meanwhile, my name is Donica or Nika or Nika Bunny or anything that isn't offensive, and I love you all. Goodbye.